story time. I'm going to tell you guys about how I ended up making more money as an analyst than some managers in the first company I worked for. So I came in as an intern, and first of all, you hear a lot of people talking about how bragging about how they made it all alone, you know, self-made and all of that stuff. You know, newsflash, nobody makes it alone. It's not possible. You need to know people. You need to know people in high places. You need to have firm relationships. You need to have very good relationships. Who you know and how you know matters, especially in your career. It will lead you to places. You will cut some you will have some shortcuts otherwise you wouldn't have. And that is what happened for me. When I came in as an intern, I was making between $13 and $15 an hour. I'm not completely sure how much I was making. It's been a while. There were other interns there as well. To be honest, I never really became friends with any of the interns. I was friends with, you know, some of my age mates in the company, but I always had lunch with managers. The person I had lunch with the most was a manager. I was always having lunch with managers or vice presidents or president of some of a division or a department. And let me tell you this, it changed my mindset about a lot of things, you know. And when I was moving from an internship role to a full-time role, I spoke to some of the people who had been full-time for a while, some of my friends, and they were telling me, oh, just ask for $20 an hour, right? That's what we are making. That's what they'll give you anyway. This company is cheap, this and that. I said, okay. And then I spoke to some of my manager friends, you know, and senior managers. And the mindset was different. What they were telling me to go for was different. You know, they gave me a whole different mindset. And the long and short of it was, I started making more money than my mates, than any of the interns, than any of the people who were part-timers and all of that. The reason I'm saying this is this. Most of the time, it's only a few things that your colleagues can offer you. If you want to grow exponentially, you need to make friends. You need to make friends in higher places. Trust me, you need to make friends in higher places. They will give you the best advice. They will tell you things that you are not thinking about. They will give you a mindset you do not have, but you definitely need. And they can vouch for you in places that you will not be in. What happened with me is, long story short, in no time I started making more money than some managers in the company. How do I know that? Because most of the managers were complaining. Some of them were complaining, especially the supervisors. You know, I've been a supervisor here for 10 years, 15 years. I've been working here for 10 years. I have my master's. I'm not making this. I want to make this. And I was in there making more money than some supervisors and some managers. Why? Because I got good advice. 2, because I had a good manager who will vouch for me any day, anytime. That is the kind of relationships you need to build. Yes, make friends with your colleagues, but there isn't much they can do for you. There's a reason why they are your colleagues. There's a reason why they are your colleagues. Find managers who are willing to share. Find people who are in places that you want to be, and, you know, get advice from them. Just sitting with them having lunch alone is helpful. I don't care what they are talking about. It can be women, it can be whatever. I don't care what they are talking about. Being in there, you will learn a lot of things. You will gain a mindset that you did not previously have. I believe, and I'm not 100% sure, but I'm 90% sure that at the time I left that company, I was making more money than the first manager who hired me to be in that company. I'm 90% sure of it. I'm not 100% sure. But, you know, at the time I was leaving, I remember when I got my final pay raise there, our HR department came back to my boss and was like, look, we cannot justify this pay raise you want to give this guy, because there's no analyst or senior analyst making that much money, whether it's local or whether it's in Europe. There's nobody making that money. And my boss was like, okay, which roles are making this money? And then they started mentioning the roles. And it's like, okay, if it's a role thing, I've changed this role. This is this role. Now approve this amount, you know. And that's a blessing to have a boss do that for you. But again, it goes back to the mindset of knowing the right people, being bold to ask what you want, and all of that. Relationships matter. Who you know and how you know them matter. Make sure you like, make sure you subscribe, and make sure you share. Change the people around you, and your mindset will change, and your money will increase, and everything you do will change. Okay, that's all for today. Until next time.